All businesses need a system to allow them to grow. And whether you're running a business already or you're just starting out, you're going to see one common thing all over the internet that people are telling you to do: sales calls, sales calls, sales calls. But what if I told you there was a way that you could grow your business without having to do sales calls by following an extremely simple system? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down that exact system for you. I'm going to break down the key 3 stages of this system and help you to understand it so that you can apply it to your business today. And there's a fourth bonus stage, which I'm going to explain as well, which will allow you to accelerate growth and revenue, potentially even more. Now, just to clarify, I've watched hundreds and thousands of man hours of YouTube videos from business gurus like Alex Hormozy, Ed Lawrence, pretty much anything I can get my hands on to work out what the best systems are, how to grow a business, how to create sales landing pages, and all this other cool jazz. And one thing that came across quite heavily in a lot of content was how reliant a lot of people are on sales calls. Sales calls are a little bit alike to going into your local store that sells like TVs and laptops and stuff. And you get that dreaded customer service advisor who's coming round basically trying to sell you the product directly. And they're saying, this is an amazing laptop and it does all of this cool stuff. It's kind of annoying. I'd like to be able to just have a look and choose what I want to buy and ask if I want some help. The problem with sales calls is they're very forced and it puts somebody in a corner and they're not always guaranteed to do business with you as a result of it. But with this system, you won't have any of that, and that's why I think it'll be really valuable if you're just starting out or even if you've got a business already. So in order to explain further these different stages that we have, we need to first understand what is a funnel. So if you think about the shape of a funnel that you might have at home or a funnel you've seen anywhere else online, in a presentation, you will know that a funnel starts with a wider top, and then as it goes down it gets more narrow, and then at the bottom it's narrowest effectively. And what a funnel is very useful for is working out what stage in your sales process people are being lost. Now, this system I've put together is a 3-stage system in the funnel, so it makes it really simple. There's no complicated things, lead qualification steps and all this sales jargon. You won't need to know any of that, and I'm going to break down how this funnel will apply a systematic approach to you creating your business and will tell you where you've got problems in that funnel and how to fix them. So for this, and to go through the funnel stages, we're going to use a hypothetical example, and we're going to say that we have a business and the problem that we solve is back pain for people who are a little bit older, i.e. 40 plus. And we're going to share techniques on how to solve that back pain, and we're also going to target people who potentially play golf and have trouble playing golf because of their back pain, and also who can't go walking with their family and enjoy their sort of later parts of their life because they can't walk properly because they have back pain. Now, out there in the world, there will be a demographic of people who are looking for a solution to this very, very problem. As with anyone, as you get older, unless you look after yourself and you're really, really strong, you will find that things like your back or your legs or your feet or your arms or whatever start to deteriorate as you get older. It's just the way the world works. And unless you really, really hone in and look after it, you're going to fall into that category eventually as well. Now, this presents a massive opportunity because these people will be looking for solutions to those problems, and we're about to create a business that is going to solve their problems. So they've got back pain and they're going to be looking online for solutions to how to solve their pain. This is where we want to position ourselves right between them and solving their problem so that they are likely to work with us when solving the problem. We're going to use a number of prospects which equates to 1 million people. This is the number of people that we can potentially hit if we positioned our product right, and people who basically have back pain right now. So the first stage in our funnel is we need to get in front of them, showing that we have a product or a service that meets their needs. And the way we're going to do this is via the use of content and engagement, and that is stage 1 of the funnel. Now, creating content is probably the easiest way to market your business and your brand straight away, because you can literally be putting out content that talks about the problems that these people are having and that you have some expertise, knowledge or solution to their problem. And that is what is going to get you the relevant content, views and engagement that you need in order to get people to start coming through your funnel. Now, the way we can get started with stage 1 is really simple. You just need to literally start recording content and making it aligned to exactly what your business does and what it offers. If your business is specifically about back pain, in this example ours is, then we need to focus on videos around the solution to back pain, why you have it and how you can get rid of it and things that might exacerbate it. There's all sorts of content ideas you could do there, and these people who have got back pain are likely to watch it because they're looking for a solution to their problems. All you need to do at this stage is keep making content, keep making better and better content, and learning the ropes of what content's all about. That includes creating a hook to a video, making clear points throughout the video, and being able to provide call to actions so that people can do something off the back of what you've said in the video if they want to. Now for stage one, and in this example, we're going to say that we managed to get 1% of that prospective audience we talked about earlier, which was 1 million people. And so we're now down to 1,000 people who have engaged with our content and are interested in what we have to say. Now that means we need to move on to stage two, and this is probably one of the most important steps, because if you can accomplish this correctly, this is where you can really start to get real interest in what it is you're selling or offering, and even on things that you might sell or offer in the future. We're going to take the relationship from a casual viewer to now more of a formal prospect that we might be able to sell to in the near or distant future. And we're going to do that in stage two with what's called the exchange of value or information. Now, you may have heard this termed as a lead magnet. What you're looking to do is find something that can entice somebody to want to give away some of their information to you on a more personal level. In this case, what we're looking for is an email address. Now, an email address is a very, very powerful tool. Now, an email is super important in this realm, and it's a really powerful metric of how interested somebody is in you. If they're willing to give you their email address because they want to hear more about what you have to offer, you have hit the right note with them, and that means that they are potentially ready to take things one step further. But of course, no one's just going to give you their email address, and this is where the lead magnet comes in, i.e. the exchange of information or exchange of value. And what you would do here is offer something to them to show them why it's worth them sending you their email address. Most people do this in the form of some kind of free guide or some kind of free tool or some kind of trial access to something where you can click a link, you can put your email address in and then get access to that freebie. In our case, let's say that this is a guide to help you manage the symptoms of your back pain on a daily basis with 5 simple stretches. And you do them on a daily basis before you do anything else, and you will have a right as rain day because your back pain will be gone. Now, if I had back pain, I would totally sign up for that because number one, it's completely free, and number two, all I need to do is give my email address, which is basically not really buying anything. So the person who's entered their email address is now going to get a great product that's going to help them to move on with their life. It's going to cement further credibility in what it is you have to offer and what you have to say, because if it does help them, that's where they're more likely to come back later and buy from you if you've got something better to offer. And all you need to do is make sure that the product or the lead magnet that you're giving is good enough. Now, do not skimp on this. If you do a rubbish job of trying to give someone a crappy little product that you've rushed together just to get their email address, it will show later on, and someone might not then have confidence in you because they've looked at your small offering and thought, well, if it's this poor now, what's it going to be like when I spend lots of money with them? And they won't buy from you. So bear that in mind when you create something. Now, this guide could be really simple. It could be a PDF, it could be a Google Doc, it could be anything like that. It's just got to give value, it's got to be professionally done, and it's got to align with what your business is all about and the content strategy that we talked about earlier so that everything is aligned. It's no good giving away a free pot of coffee if someone's come to sort out their back problems. You need to give them something that helps them with their back problems. Now, we're going to assume here that from the 1,000 audience members who were following us and engaging with our content, we've now taken 1% of those and they are interested and have given us their email address. So that equates to 10 people who we've now got email addresses for and we can directly market to with offers and things that we might want to sell or engage them with. So this is going to nicely set us up for stage 3. Now, stage 3 is the most important stage of all, and the reason it's the most important is because this is where you're going to make the sale or lose it. Now, the good thing about this system is because we're not going to use sales calls, there's actually less chance of you losing anything because you haven't got to go on a call and convince someone to buy something and click a special link and worry about rushing their credit card details in. What we're going to use for stage 3 is what's called a sales landing page for our conversion. A sales landing page is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a landing page, a website page that someone would land on and are able to see what it is that you're offering, why they need that product or that service, how they can buy it, and how much does it cost. If they can see all of that information and it's clearly and professionally laid out, it's not spammy, it's not overworked, it's not desperate, but hurry now, only 10 minutes until the price goes up again. You do not want any of that shit on your landing page because it just looks desperate and spammy. What you want is a clear articulated message to those four things: what it is, why you need it, how much it costs, and how you can buy it. And if you can get all of those things succinctly on a page, potentially wrapped up with some extra things, maybe some kudos from reviews or some feedback that you've had, or maybe even some relationships and people that you already work with who are quite famous to give you some credibility. And also something like a money back guarantee could be really powerful on this as well. So if you're able to offer those kind of levels of confidence to someone, that can often be enough to close a deal on a sale. Now, some things you want to avoid at this stage: you want to avoid doing anything to make things complicated. If you've got a form where you're asking people to fill in the answer to 15 questions to see if you're the right fit, it means your landing page is not optimized enough, and it's a waste of time. If you're saying to people, okay, we're not going to tell you the price until you have a call with us, schedule a call now, they're not going to buy from you. They're just really not. They're not going to jump on the phone with you and find out magically on the phone that you want 5k from them straight away and that they have to pay now or the offer's going to go away, it's going to double tomorrow. It's just too much pressure. People don't like that kind of pressure. They like to be able to make an articulated decision, and to help them make that decision is to just make your landing page as optimized as possible. Really simple, straight to the point. This is what it offers, this is why you need it. The more stuff that you put in there, the more confusing it's going to be. Remember, with our money back guarantee that we're talking about, you don't really have to worry about any of this stuff, because when they come in, if they find out they've made a mistake, we'll just give them a refund. Or if they're not happy with it, we'll give them a refund. That level of confidence that you put in your own product will project onto them and actually makes them more likely to buy something. So if we're thinking about the people that we got from earlier who are prospects, just to be really pragmatic and really, really cynical, we might get one sale out of those million people that we originally pitched to. Now, that's not a bad thing, because remember, this system is almost automated on autopilot. And what you'll find with this sales funnel is that over time, people will come to the top of the funnel again. For example, you may get people who suddenly develop back problems who are now part of your target audience who weren't there before. So the numbers will completely evolve over time, but that's the beauty of this, because once you set up that funnel, provided that you optimize it and you keep on top of it, it is very, very easy to make sales with it. Now, I promised you a bonus stage. Now, this is an optional stage because it doesn't really fit every single product and offering, and it also doesn't really sit inside the funnel. It actually sits at the bottom of the funnel after people have fallen out at the bottom as sales. And this is the customer retention and upsell stage. So what you have to remember here is that what you give to the customer at the end of the day when you finally make a sale has to be of high quality, and you have to show the value that you've put into it. If they're not getting the value out of it and they don't rate it, you're not going to get any future sales from them. If you do a good enough job, though, they are more than likely going to be willing to buy from you in the future if you offer similar products or services. The beauty about this stage is that you don't have to do stage 1 or stage 2 to get them in, because you already have them on an email list. So you can pretty much send them to a sales landing page for a product that's related, and they will probably still be interested enough, provided that there's enough synergy between the new and the old product. Now, not all businesses have this, because if you're purchasing a pack of LUTs or something for Premiere Pro, for doing color grading on videos or something like that, then you might not have this system where you need to keep them happy with the service. Because if it's not a subscription or a one-to-one kind of coaching program or something like that, you may find that some of these things are not necessary. You should always try and get their email address as part of stage 2. You should always get new people coming in at stage 1 so you can continue to make sales. Now, you can do things at each of the different stages to up the quality of the conversion at that stage in the funnel. If we made better content, we might not get 1% through, we might get 2% through. And if that followed all the way through, could be a double in revenue. It could be that the lead magnets you offer and the way that you pitch the lead magnets actually generate you more email addresses than 1%, in which case you would have more potential upsell opportunity at the very end, because if you've got twice the amount of email addresses, you might make twice or even more the amount of sales. And of course, the sales landing page itself, well, you can always make that better. You can look to make it more refined. You can do feedback on the page about which elements were clicked, where did people get to in the process, where did they fall out, what do you think they didn't quite like to make that money commitment, and you can improve that too. The whole point is that you can modify this funnel as you need to. You can make it very wide where you've got lots of people coming all the way through and you're getting lots of sales out of it, or you can make it very narrow and focused depending on your price points, what it is that you're offering, or where you want to spend your time, whether that's content, lead magnets, or your sales landing pages. You can do things like email marketing, where you can put those things on autopilot to send emails out every week, giving updates. So it's very minimal work to keep that pipeline flowing. And that's the whole point of creating content. And remember, as your viewers, subscribers, and whatever it is on any social platform grows, that funnel just could be even wider at the top. And even though it might get narrower quickly, you'll still have more people to potentially sell to at the end of it. Now, of course, getting started with any business can be complicated, and often a lot of people will get stuck in the ideation phase. Well, I'd recommend that you watch this video next if you're struggling with that, because I break down 7 really simple business ideas that you could effectively adopt today and get started with your business, whether you take them verbatim or whether you put your own spin on them to create your own kind of unique business offering. But make sure you watch that video next, and I'll chat to you over there.